Hello guys, welcome to Online Web Tutor presented by Profotech Solutions team. I am Sanjay. We are learning Laravel Admin Panel Development Beginners tutorial. This is our part number 28. Inside this video session guys, we are going to start about the delete function with class section data. And also guys, if you're a beginner to this channel, then please don't forget to subscribe and keep watching our previous video sessions to get the clear concept about Laravel Admin Panel Development tutorial. So basically guys, so far we have completed about the add section as well as the listing of classes, faculties and students. All we have completed, and all the code we have committed to this GitHub repository called github.com/owthub/Laravel admin panel. Here you can find under the commit section all the codes we have committed, what we have done so far inside this playlist. So what we have to do inside this video session? Inside this video session, just go to list section. These are the two buttons called edit and delete we have developed while listing of these data in Ajax box. We want that someone clicks on delete button, this data should be deleted. While deleting that, still it is not working because we have not coded so far. So we are going to start with this functionality first. After that we will see about the edit operation of this button. So back to editor. Now we have the route, and route is something called list sections. So if I copy this route, go to our web.php file, search this route, and this is about list section. It is using called class section controller and list school sections. So if we back to our http folder, controllers folder, we have a controller called class section controller. Inside this controller, as you have remembered that inside list all sections, we have listed all the data of our sections by using Ajax box. So if I scroll at the end, here is the delete button that we have developed. So let me break this line into the second line, and one button is for the edit and the second button is for the delete. So inside this delete button, we have added a class, something called class section delete. Inside this button, we have a data ID attribute. Inside this data ID attribute, we have the section ID. Okay, so I'm going to put something, let's say that Javascript. This is a blank, means I have removed the hash symbol from this href attribute. Inside this controller, which view file basically we have used to list our sections. So this is the file called list section. So if I back to resources folder, and if I search about the list section, this is the file that we have used basically to list all the sections what we have in our database table. So inside this file, I'm going to put our JavaScript code by using this Ajax call. We are going to delete our data. So let's say script. Inside this script tag, if I just write a simple statement, let's say that this is a basic syntax of jQuery. Inside this, if I write, let's say console.log, and let's say that simple message. If I save all these two files, back to administrator panel, open up inspect and reload this page. Once I reload, go to console, and dollar is not defined. It means that we have to include jQuery file first. Back to slides, and here we have a CDN link of jQuery.min.js. So if I copy this library file, go to editor, and if I paste this code right here and also inside script tag, because this is only a link. So inside this script tag, if I write inside this src attribute, save this file, back to administrator panel, reload this page, and this is our message what we have written inside console called simple message. It means that we have successfully connected with our Ajax call. Next, what we have to do, back to editor. Now inside this delete button, we have provided a class. By the help of this class, actually we will make our Ajax call called class section delete. So it just copy this class name, back to our jQuery function block, and if I remove this console message and let's say that dollar, inside this let's document on click event on our selector. This is basically a class, means when we hit or click on this class, it means that we are going to execute our Ajax call. Now inside this function block, inside this block we have to write Ajax call functions. So basically, while clicking on this delete class button, first of all we have to retrieve this data ID from this called HTML element. So just let's say that where delete ID, inside this we are going to retrieve, let's say this dot attr, it means attribute, and we are going to retrieve our data ID. So basically this contains about the delete ID of delete button. Save this file, press enter, and let's say that where post data, this is the data that I'm going to send to our Ajax call to the server and to get the response. So let's say that basically I'm going to send an object. Inside this object we have two attributes. The first attribute should be token. This is our CSRF token I'm going to send to the server to validate our request. So inside double quotes, let's say that this is CSRF token, and in the second parameter I'm going to send our delete ID. So let's say delete ID, and this delete ID is stored inside this variable. So I'm going to copy and pasting it here. Now successfully we have completed our post data variables. Next we have to complete or make our Ajax call. So let's say that $.post. We are going to use the post method of jQuery to call our Ajax method. So let's say, and in the first parameter we have to pass about the URL. So what basically URL we are going to use? So back to web.php. Now inside this list section I'm going to make another, let's say post. This is all about, let's say instead of save, let's say delete. This is using actually same controller, and let's say that delete section, and inside this we have a name parameter for that. So let's say delete section. So if I copy this name parameter, go to our HTML file, and inside double quotes I'm going to use call, say let's say route, and this is all about name parameter. It will return the URL of that method, and in the second parameter I'm going to pass about the post data what we have stored inside this object. So copy that, pasting it here. Next let's say that function. Inside this function we are just taking the response from the server and print inside this block. So this will give our response from the server. So if I copy this response and let's say that console.log and response. Now we have to set up all the methods for this delete operation. So copy this function name, go to controller, and if I scroll down, let's say that function name. Inside this function we are going to pass some parameters by using this post data. So first of all we have to collect these data inside this method. To receive all the data from our Ajax call, we are going to use our request parameter or request object inside this function call. So let's say request. Now finally we actually retrieve all these data by using this request object. So let's say that this is all about ID. So ID will be stored inside request, and this is the parameter we are sending for delete. So delete ID. So copy and paste here. Now how can we delete? First of all, by getting this ID we have to search about this ID any record inside our class sections data. What does basically it means? If you go up, click on this student class controller model. Basically inside this model we have a table name, something called TBL class sections. So back to database table. Inside this database table, so session is logged out currently. So inside this we have a table something called TBL class sections. Now inside these sections it contains all about the data of our what sections we have stored. So basically we have to find about the record of a particular ID. This is the ID that we are sending via Ajax call. By finding this ID we need to check that it is actually basically it exists or not. If it exists, it means that we have to delete that. So back to editor, let's say that class section controller. Inside this controller first of all we have to find that. So by using this student class, so let's say student class, it stores the data, means model of table, and we have to use the find method. Inside this find method I'm going to pass this ID. it basically returns that that column or that row exists or not. So I'm going to store inside, let's say, section data. It means that, let me check that if it set section data and ID, it means that if that record exists, it means that we have to delete that. So let's say section data, and simply we have to use called the delete method. This will delete, this is the record we are going to delete by the help of this ID. Next, by deleting that, we need to return to our JavaScript code or Ajax call. So let's say that echo JSON encode. Inside this JSON encode, I am going to pass some of the variables. Let's say that status equal to 1 and message something, let's say that section deleted successfully. So if I save this file, and also we need to write this code, same code for the else condition, because if suppose that row does not exist. So here is the status 0, and let's say that failed to delete, or let's say section does not exist. And finally, at the last of this method, we need to use the die here. So save this file, and inside here, while getting our response, we have console that. So everything is done now. Back to our administrator panel, reload this page once more, and if I click on this just to get rid of all these console messages, I'm going to delete this operation, something called ABC data. So click on delete button. Successfully section we have deleted. If I go here, reload this page, and ABC data has gone, but still we are not getting any message or any confirmation that we have deleted that record. So let's do all these settings. So back to our editor. Inside this file, let's say that this is all about a response. So var data, this is all about parse JSON, and inside this we have a variable called response. This is basically the response variable which getting the response from the server. So let's say if data.status, it means that if it equals to 1, it means that we have successfully deleted that. In that condition, we are going to reload our page. So let's say location dot reload. We are reloading our page, and if suppose we are not getting as the status 1, it means that we have to show alert message, and inside that alert we have to show about the message, and this message parameter basically comes from here, and this is the status we are checking, like 1 or for the else condition. Now before deleting, why not actually we will put a alert about the confirmation about the delete operation. So let's say that var conf equal to confirm. Let's say that r want to delete. This is only for the user confirmation. It asks for yes and no. If suppose anyone click on the yes button, it means that we are getting the true value. By getting true value, now we have to delete that. So if I scroll up, everything is done now. Back to our administrator panel, reload this page once more. Now I'm going to delete, let's say that I'm going to add a section. So let's say that this is all about EF submit. We have submitted a section. Go to our list section. Let me delete that. So let's say delete. This is the confirmation pop-up. If I click on OK, successfully it is deleted and reloaded that page. And also if I click on this delete button, if I press cancel, it means that it returns false value. So in that condition, we are not deleting that record. It will be deleted only when I press OK button. By clicking on this delete button, basically it returns the true value. By getting this true value, it will delete the call. So this is the basically guys, this is the Ajax call. By the help of this Ajax call, we have deleted our sections data. So back to slides. So if you have any doubt inside this video session guys, then please drop your comment. I will give my reply as soon as possible. So for this video session guys, thank you for watching. Have a great day.